My father. He has been a very inspiring soul in my life. Our board is a very student-friendly board, and this kind of a pressure is not required.
Okay.
Parents need to understand the system. When I am in the school, I actually don't behave like a principal.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Principal's Podium, an exclusive podcast with principals. I'm your host, Pallavi Kulkarni. So, our first guest today comes with over 3 decades of experience. She has led multiple school leadership positions in India and now principal at Little Flower Public School. She holds a pivotal role in CISCE Board, a long-term school inspector, and the secretary of Karnataka Association of ICSE Schools, representing 500 institutions. She also holds prestigious recipient awardee of Derozio Award and Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Award. Basically, she is a Beyonce of school leadership in Karnataka. Let's get into the conversation with Dr. B. Gayetri Devi. I welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction.
So, ma'am, you have been a wonderful principal and experienced educator. But we want to know that who is that one person in your student life who inspired you to be what you are today and who has made a lasting impact in your life?
I think one of the most difficult questions that you're asking in the first stage itself, I would attribute it to my father.
Okay.
He has been a very inspiring soul in my life. He's no more today, but there is no day that passes without remembering him and remembering all that he has taught me, all that he has blessed me with. So definitely it would be my father.
So, since you're talking about your father, we would like to know more about your childhood, about your family, how it has shaped you as a person and the career path that you have chosen.
Okay. So, a Bangalorean, a localite, born and brought up in Sadashiv Nagar, a prime locality in Bengaluru, studied in Stella Maris Convent. So, completed my school education in Stella Maris and then moved on to do my graduation in Hyderabad because the posting was there in Hyderabad. And from there, moved on to various parts of India and finally had an assignment in Bangkok as well as in the Sultanate of Oman. So the education in India and the experience in India and overseas definitely has made insignificant contribution in the milestones that I have achieved thus far.
So, since you have seen the education of fraternity overseas and India, so do you see any kind of difference that?
The overseas assignments that I had taken was much before social media and internet could creep into our lives.
Right.
So those days, yes, pagers and mobile phones were the trend.
Yes.
And you would see everybody having either a pager or a mobile phone. And of course, those phones were not smartphones and they were button phones. So it really did not hamper us as, the teaching fraternity in terms of teaching. We enjoyed the phase and we actually were not ready for what's happening now.
Okay.
But never did we think that there would be so much of an overpowering of media. But I think as the days go by, we are learning to cope up with it.
So, you have evolved as a teacher, maybe first as a student, then as a teacher, then as an educator, holding multiple leadership positions. So, what part of that being a principal you enjoy the most?
I still love being a teacher.
Okay.
Because once a teacher, always a teacher. Love interacting with students.
Okay.
Love understanding the dynamics in them. So you speak to a kindergarten student, the dynamics are different. And as you go up to the primary, middle and high school, it varies 360 degrees. So it is a pleasure always interacting with the students. Being a principal, yes, it comes with a lot of responsibilities, and no day is the same.
Yes.
Yeah, today is something different, and tomorrow I definitely cannot expect it to be the same as today. So tomorrow will have its own dynamism, tomorrow will have its own setbacks, it will have its accolades as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, is there anything about you that a lot of them don't know? Maybe your students are not aware of, and they'll be surprised after knowing about it.
I think there's no hidden secret. Everybody knows that I love pets.
Okay.
We are basically a family of animal lovers. We rescue a lot of animals. In fact, my husband's factory has over 50, 60 stray dogs, all indies.
Okay.
Yeah, and a lot of, tender loving care is what they get in our campus. Apart from that, I'm a great Shah Rukh Khan fan. Probably you wouldn't see many principals say this, but yes, I say it with pride, because here is a man whom you can always uh, look upon and learn a lot in terms of his wisdom, in terms of his uh, language proficiency, in
Yes.
terms of his wittiness. So these are the two things. And I'm a foodie, you can see. I'm a vegetarian though, and a
Okay.
foodie, and anything on the plate which is vegetarian is relished with utmost respect.
So, to all the students, your principal is also a movie buff now.
Yes.
Yes. With that, so we also want to know that your school, the Little Flower, is buzzing with students. You
Yes.
have across, around 2,500 plus students, which is a huge crowd to handle. So, how do you manage to stay connected with the staff, students, and bridge the gap between management and the school? So, how is it?
To start off, I should definitely thank our dear Secretary, Mr. Iqbal Ahmed, and his wonderful wife, Mrs. Maimuna, who are the pillars of the school, I can say. And every nook and corner in the school has been built with a lot of care, with a lot of passion. And today, his son, Mr. Tanveer Ahmed, has taken over. And it's a wonderful journey from the father to the son. And the school keeps growing from strength to strength. The strongest pillars of our school are our teachers. Yeah, Little Flower is best to have the best of teachers. And because of these teachers, at each level, be it the foundation level, the middle, or the high school, we have been able to bring in the results that is required for the community, for the society around, thereby making the parent community a happy community. And I'm sure when they leave the portals of Little Flower, there is not an ounce of regret that, array, why did we, admit our child in Little Flowers? Everybody goes back with rich memories, fond memories, and a bag full of knowledge to enable them strike the big world outside the school campus.
So, since you were mentioning about academics and the students' engagement, nowadays, students are constantly pressurized with academics, non curriculum activities. So, everyone wants them to excel. So, being a principal, how do you try to bring that balance between the students to have that focus where a student is not as much as pressurized as the student should be, but still tries to excel in the academics?
So over here, my interpretation would be that we as a school are affiliated to the CISCE Board, New Delhi.
Yeah.
The board is a student-friendly board. I again emphasize the board is a student-friendly board, which means that there is no pressure in academics at all. It is the parent, the society, the community, and by and large our country, which still believes in the rote method, examination-oriented, percentages, ranks.
Yes.
This is immaterial to me as an educator, because we would want our child to walk out of our portals with values, that are 360 degrees in nature. That is more important. But what happens? The pressure is because of the parents and definitely not because of the school. Parents wanting the children to take up tuitions for grade 10 and 12. Apart from the tuitions, they have whole lot other entrance exams that they want their children to prepare and apply and appear for, which definitely is taking a toll on them. So
Yeah.
today, yesterday, tomorrow, my answer to this would be say no to tuitions, say yes to the sensory organs that God has blessed with each and every student. Listen to your teacher, see what she is doing on the board, see what creativity that she is bringing into the classroom, ask questions, be prepared for the class. I think with this, they can crack our CISC board exams with ease.
Have you come across any student who has been pressurized like this, or had a very bad mental health imbalance because of this academic pressure?
Unfortunately, it's not in singulars, it is in plurals.
Okay.
That is the kind of pressure that children, unnecessarily are bombarded upon, which is not required.
Okay.
And they wake up by 4:35 in the morning to go into XYZ tutorials, and they come to school without breakfast. They're so drowsy and sleepy. They're not attentive in the classroom. We do feel sorry for them. But again, there is some discipline that every school and every classroom has. So we keep constantly telling the students and parents that this ordeal is not required. Pay attention to what's happening in the class, and that's more than sufficient. But it's a slow process to change everybody's mindset, but it is a process that is possible. Results are there for us to see, but it's a slow and steady race to win.
So, is there any environment where students are created this fun activities in the classroom, or the learning experience is a bit eased out yet effective for the students?
A lot of competitions in school, outside school, intra-school competitions, inter-school competitions, literary competitions, sports competitions, you name it, our children have it all. So it all, in spite of the school giving in so many opportunities, there are some lazy ones who wouldn't want to do anything.
Very true.
There are some who are not motivated enough to at least take part. Winning and losing is a part of every competition.
True.
But to be a part of it, it's everybody's caliber. But
Yes.
again, having said this, the push is definitely there from the school. But I don't see the same push from the parent side as well. That
Okay.
should change. There are some parents who are over involved. There are most parents who are not involved at all.
Okay.
Hmm.
So now it's a generation of Gen Alpha in the school.
Mhm.
You have millennials as parents.
Mhm.
So how is it different from older generation of students and parents? Because the mindset changes. The new parents come with a lot of prejudices. They come with a lot of questions and queries. They are more worried because now it's the social media era. They will research a lot before coming to school. Even the students, to that matter, they have access to a lot of things online.
Yeah.
So how different is the teaching experience and also being a principal in the school?
It has been a unique experience, but whatever we are observing, whether it's a millennial parent or a parent who is having
Gen X.
their children studying in grade 10, throughout my experience has been that in the initial months, they are overexcited. They would want to involve in everything that happens in the school. And as the years go by, their involvement reduces.
Okay.
Thereby proving to their children that there is a gap between the parent and the school.
Okay.
And the gap is very clearly evident to the child, and the child plays his or her role very effectively in grabbing that gap and utilizing it for his or her benefit.
That's wonderful. So yes, there is evidently a difference in the generations, the way
Exactly.
they perceive, whether it's a parent or a student. So you have been an active member of multiple boards that are, they're changing the landscape of education. They're making policies. You are
Yes.
also one amongst that, and which is importantly that being a member of Karnataka Association of ICSE schools. So how does it feel, ma'am? And what is your role? We want to know more about it.
There are over 500 plus schools in Karnataka affiliated to the CISCE board.
Yes.
And obviously, all the schools would not have easy access to the members in the CISCE board, which is in New Delhi. So, there was the need to have an association of like minded principals and schools. And the like mindedness over here is all about being affiliated to the CISCE board. So, the association is there to take care of, or not take care, handhold principals and schools who are newly affiliated to the CISCE board, conduct varied competitions to the students of these member schools, and also be a voice that they can rely on in terms of any issues and concerns that would affect the day-to-day functioning of the school. So these are the major roles of the association.
How was your experience being a part of such wonderful committee? Because when you had entered it as a new member of it, what are the things that you had on your mind?
Yeah, when initially when we were the office bearers of the Karnataka ICSE Schools Association, the number wasn't this big. We just had about 100 plus schools.
Okay.
But very proud to say that Karnataka is one of the states which multiplied in leaps and bounds with regard to, seeking affiliation to the CISCE board. And that's how we are 500 plus strong and still going in Karnataka. The journey has been very pleasant. It has been very challenging at times. And the office bearers comprising of our president, who plays a very important role, the vice president, the treasurer, and the EC members, together collectively take decisions to ensure that the association moves from strength to strength.
That's wonderful, ma'am. So you have also been a pivotal member of setting up the examination system. So through this journey, have you seen any difference in the way students are perceiving exams? Is it just learn today and write tomorrow, or are students taking it more differently now?
Students will always remain students. The pressure mounts as they come close to the examination.
Okay.
No matter how well we tell them that you need to have a school timetable, a personal timetable, and an exam timetable, pressure mounts as they come close to February, March. And sometimes it's heartbreaking to know that families give up on so much of their recreation time, social time, just because a child is taking up the board exam. I wonder why, because like I mentioned before, our board is a very student-friendly board, and this kind of a pressure is not required.
Okay.
Parents need to understand the system.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my next question to you is that you might have experienced the most unexpected moments during the inspection process of the schools. Maybe a funnier one or something that has stuck with you.
The funniest part was, I wouldn't name the school or the region in which I went to
Okay.
inspect. The funniest part was when the teacher asked me, who's Shakespeare? Because the question that I had put forward to her is, would you be able to, you have a heavy accent, would you be able to teach Shakespeare? And she asked
Okay.
me, who's Shakespeare?
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know whether to call it as a funny moment or a moment of shock and alarm, because these are the teachers who are going to handhold the next generation students and go ahead.
True.
So that was an awkward moment for me. Was very difficult for me to understand when I heard about it, but when I witnessed it, I did, it's this easy. That's what I
Yes.
felt. Yeah.
Since you were mentioning about how teachers shocked you at times, so do you think that there is still a gap in the curriculum and how teachers have been trained?
That's a $1 million question. Yes. Whether it's our board or the other boards, it's mandatory for a teacher to have completed her Bachelor of Education, an important degree or a qualification for one to take up teaching. But having said that, what we learn in B.Ed is just for theory and paper, but not what is to be practically used in the classrooms. So initially teachers do struggle, but as the days go on, they understand and pick up the threads quite easily. The alarming or the sad story is today, I don't know, for some reason, teaching is not a preferred profession.
True.
And very soon, maybe by the time we come to 2030, we already have a shortage of teachers. By 2030, we would definitely have a drought, I must say, of teachers. Uh, School should be gearing up to have AI as one of the tools for teaching, because
Yes.
I definitely see a shortfall in teachers.
So since we are talking about teachers, how do you connect with teachers being a principal, ma'am? How is your relationship with them?
For me, I'm a principal with unconventional principles,
Yes.
and when I am in the school, I actually don't behave like a principal. So, very
Okay.
approachable with the students and the teachers,
Okay.
and the connect makes me feel very attached to all of them,
Okay.
and it enables me to understand the system better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So being a principal is not less than a stressful job. So how do you unwind your day after a stressful day at school?
Undoubtedly, my pets.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I go back home to my dogs, I go back home to my cats,
Okay.
and they are the true stress busters.
That's wonderful, ma'am. So now let's talk a bit about your achievements. So
Mhm.
you have won prestigious Derozio Award
Yes.
and Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Award, of course. So how was it when you heard that you were winning the award? What was that feeling?
In fact, for the Derozio Award, I really had to struggle because it was not the first attempt that I got the award.
Okay.
So I had to really work very hard towards it. It took me
Okay.
some years, but finally, when it came, uh,
Okay.
it was very satisfying, and definitely a feather in my
Yes.
cap for all the hard work that I had put in,
Yes.
and cherish that memory. It would always remain evergreen in my mind.
So, to all the aspiring people out there who are willing to strive and become a teacher and eventually an educator, what do you advise them? How to be able to reach this position and be recipient of such wonderful awards?
Consistency in your job profile. See, an engineer can say, "Oh, I don't know, I'll get back." Uh, a software, anybody can say, "I will get back," but a teacher cannot say, "I do not know."
Okay.
Right? So, a teacher should be updated with everything regarding her subject and beyond her subject. And this is where today I find a huge gap, because when I speak to teachers and check on their profile, their knowledge on current affairs, it's sometimes very sad to even know that some of the teachers don't even know who the president of our country is.
Okay.
It's alarming, but when you ask them, they say they have no time. We are so busy in
Yeah.
school, we go back home, we have our in laws to take care, we have our children to take care, we need to cook, we need to manage the household, and hence we don't get time to read the newspaper or watch the news. So, taking time to understand what the role of a good teacher is very, very important. Because today's children sometimes know more than a teacher.
Yes.
Today's children are tech savvy, and the teacher might still struggle to cope up with technology and its usage. So, preparation for the class is one, and understanding the dynamisms of teaching is another aspect, and both go hand in hand. And it is for the teacher to achieve this milestone, which I don't say is difficult. It's not easy either, but consistency. That is very important. It's not that tomorrow I wake up and say I'm going to lose 10 kilos. I'm not
Yes.
just going to lose 10 kilos like that.
Yes.
Right? So there has to be consistency in a plan that I would put for myself, and probably in a month, 1 or 2 kilos of reduction will definitely work in the long run. So similarly, consistency in understanding her subject strength, her weakness, consistency in understand. Every year, the class that she gets is a different class.
Yes.
Understanding the strength and weakness of the students in the classroom.
Yes.
Right? And trying to have an eye contact that would suit all genres of children
True.
will definitely take her a long way to be the most popular teacher in school.
That's a wonderful answer, ma'am. So now I have another segment, which is fun rapid fire. You will get 3 seconds to think about it. I
Okay.
need to answer quickly.
Sure.
So yeah, your first question is, what's your favorite sport in the school campus?
Basketball.
Wonderful. One book every student should read.
Everything that Dr. Kalam and Mrs. Sudha Murthy have written, because it's so relevant to India, the Indian society, and our children can definitely relate to them.
Great. If you had to give a TED Talk tomorrow, what would be your topic?
Implementing technology in the day-to-day teachings of the school.
What do you love the most, being a teacher or a principal?
Teacher any day.
I got this answer. If you could describe your leadership style in 3 words, what would they be and why?
The 3 words would definitely be the motto of my school, which is duty, discipline, and dedication.
And why?
Duty, you have to be duty bound 24/7. Discipline is very important in your role in a career, and without dedication, you can achieve nothing. So, all these 3 play a very pivotal role every day.
Inspiring. So, my last question, if you weren't in education, what career would you choose?
Education.
Education.
Education. Any
Every
day.
time.
Any day.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
So, as we have come to the conclusion of this
Okay.
podcast, I have 2 final questions. So, what's that one dream project or untouched accept in the education that you want to achieve or accomplish?
Schools think that the boundaries of schools are just for the board examination. It is
Okay.
not true. I
Okay.
would want every school to encourage sports. Now, our CISCE board has taken up sports, though it's an examination board. Today, sports is an integral part of our board.
Yes.
And through the initiatives that we have taken up as CISCE affiliated schools, definitely would want the medal chart of our country in the Asian Games and the Olympics to outbeat China.
That's a wonderful thought. That's a very foreseeing of the Indian sports system.
Exactly.
Yes. My
And sports, by the way, teaches a lot of, education beyond books.
Very
Sports
true.
is definitely there. Bang on.
That's wonderful. So my next final question to you is,
Mhm.
ma'am, a lot of your students will be watching this podcast.
Mhm.
So what is that one message that every student should carry forward that you want to give?
Yeah, one, I'm very happy. The other, I'm angry. Happy with the students who are in touch with their alma mater and come to meet their teachers and us. It gives us a lot of energy, a lot of strength to continue our hard work. And angry with those who have forgotten the school portals and who don't come to meet their teachers or the school. But having said that, for both of them, continue with the motto of our school, which is duty, discipline, dedication. Let it be a part of your life every day, and you will see that you will grow from strength to strength.
That's great, ma'am. We are humbled to have you here on as the
Thank
first
you.
guest
Thank
on our
you.
podcast. So yeah, with that, we have come to the end of Principal Podcast. I thank Dr. B. Gayetri Devi for being our first guest. Until next time, see you soon.